What's happening there, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. I'm trying to get back into it whilst working still. It's been a bloody nightmare. But today I'm going to be showing you how to replace your front shocks and springs on an ST170. Now for this I do have James's ST170 here because I've just bought the Eibach springs and he has bought the KYB front shocks. So I'm going to be replacing them, showing you the quickest and easiest way to do it and to put it all back together, because I know they're a pain in the arse. I know a lot of people struggle when it comes to getting the shock back into the steering knuckle, so I'm going to show you the easiest way of doing that. So yeah, let's crack on. I know it's a bit wet today, it's a bit damp, it's a bit horrible, but it needs doing. He's brought it round, he's gone work. Yeah, I'll show you how to do it. Let's crack on. So this bolt here is 15 mil. Yeah, so that's a 15 mil. Now you take this out. Now I've got an impact gun. And if you haven't got an impact gun, you can use a breaker bar. Just be careful. So you're going backwards. Take it up. So if yours are a bit stiff, which I've dealt with before, it can be a bit of a pain in the arse. 15 mil span breaker bar, 15 mil on a breaker bar will do it. I do have my impact gun and I could just use that, but I'm just showing you that you don't need an impact gun to do it. We'll take this bolt out. So as you can see, the bolt is now out. Now this is very simple, guys. When you're doing this line here, this is your wheel speed sensor. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be hitting the hammer on this fork of the steering knuckle. So where I've marked there, so there and there, you're going to be hitting that with a hammer, so this will come out. I know it seems a bit aggressive, but it's the easiest way to do it. I've not undone anything else. I've took this out of here. I've taken this out just to pull it out of the way, because obviously if it sits there, I don't want to be hitting that with a hammer. That's it, that's all you need. And then it'll just be a case of taking this bolt out. So yeah, so it is this bolt and this bolt. It's your drop link bolt. So that's got to come out as well. That's just a 15 as well, I believe. So we'll get that out, and then I'll show you what to do next. So this is the bolt we're going to be removing. This is for the drop link. So for this you're going to need a 15 mil spanner, and you're going to need a H7, I think it is, no, H5. You're going to need a H5 Allen key, and this weather's getting worse, so you hear the bloody thunder? Beautiful. Alright, so that is going to hold there like that. Your spanner's going to go in. Rain has stopped playing. And now you've got to get this drop link out of here, so it is on a lot of force. So what you want to do, get your breaker bar in the gap, push down and push it out. So now that's out of the way. The next bit, you've got to hit the hammer on the steering knuckle, and that will release the shock from the knuckle itself. And then that's it for down here, and now that's released. Remember, don't take the bottom ball joint out, it's a waste of time, you don't need to. The bottom ball joint bolt and the bottom arm all stays intact. Is literally just remove the brake line, remove the top bolt from the drop link, remove the bolt out of the back of the steering knuckle, and then you're at this part. So that is a free and loose shock. The next bit we're going to do up top, and I'll show you what to do there, and almost be there. So this is the next part, this is the top mount. So you need to undo these 3 bolts. That will release the shock from the top mount, well, it will release the top mount from the body, and then we can get the shock out. I'll show you where to go from there. So for this you will need 13mm spanner. Very straightforward. Get the spanner on it. Take them off. Now that all the bolts are out, you can get underneath the car and you can grab the shock, and then you can just take out the shock, minding everything on the way down. And there we go. So the next part will be getting the new shocks out. He's bought a set of Eibach 20mm lowering springs, so I'm going to put them on. I'm going to show you how to get the top mount off and the top bearing and the top plate, because I don't think he's ordered any new ones of them. So I'll show you how to get them off. Now just bear in mind, springs have a high compression rate and they are compressed in very tightly, so if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Many accidents can happen, including losing your face, which you just don't want. You end up losing your face, you don't want that. So I'm going to show you what I use to get it off. A couple of tricks that I learned on how to get springs off. It doesn't involve cable ties. I wouldn't recommend cable ties. So yeah, let's get on to that bit. Right, so this is James's old shock. Now to get the top plates off, you need to compress the spring. Like I said, just be careful. But these are the spring compressors that I have. They're very good, do the job very well, very strong. I do have another set that are really rubbish, but I highly recommend these ones. They're very quick, especially with the impact gun. Very simple to use. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So at this point the spring compressors are on, they're not yet compressed. What I'm going to do is grab that 13mm socket. You can do this with a ratchet, but it's a lot quicker if I do it with my impact gun. It just compresses the springs. Remember to compress them evenly. You've got to rotate these ones counterclockwise. When you get them, this thread goes one way and that thread goes the other way. Spin it counterclockwise, it pulls them together. Same on the other one. So let's do that. As as you can see, the spring is now loose. You can move it in and out. It's away from the top bearing and the top plate. Free to move about. The next job's getting this top bolt out. Now this can be a bit trickier. It is a 19mm socket. So what you need is an Allen key and this is just an offset ring spanner, but you need a deep offset, especially for a Fiesta, because the Fiestas are really deep. What you do on here is you get the spanner, put it on like that. I like to use a bit of leeway on these little Allen keys. These can be very tight. And there we go. There's that. There's the top mount and the bearing. I'll show you how they work in a minute. There's the top plate. There's the shock. There's the spring. So what you can do now is you can completely remove the spring compressors. One side first. Flip it over. This is why I like these spring compressors. The spring will not bounce back. It'll hold it exactly the right place. Nothing's going to shoot off the end because it's got stoppers on it. Always works very well. Now the reason I'm showing you this process is because he needs this part. This is the top plate, and he didn't order any new ones. I know he's brought new top mounts, courtesy of Ford, so I'll link all these below. He's brought new top bearings from Ford, always recommend, and they're so cheap. I mean, I think the top mount bearings are about £7 each. So I'll link them down below. So yeah, that's why I did that. It wasn't a case of just throwing his shock and his spring together. I needed that top plate because he didn't have any others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reassemble everything, and I'm going to show you how to get the shock, the new shocks into the steering knuckle, because they can be a pain in the arse. There is the odd post on the group saying, how do you get my new coilovers or my new shocks into the steering knuckle? I'll show you my way of doing it. I'll show you the quick way. Sometimes they just slide together, sometimes they don't. So I'll show you exactly what I do and how I get it all together. So let's rebuild and reconstruct. So just a quick one, extra. Just remember, when you're replacing your shocks, they are sided. They are sided, so on the driver's side, this bracket here will be on that side. So just make sure you don't get them wrong. They are sided. next part, like you took it out, raise it up underneath. Hold it up with one hand, replace the nuts. At that point you can just let it sit flush. You can then grab your 13mm ratchet, grab your 13mm ratchet, and then you can start to do them nice and tight. Make sure they're all nice and tight. Lovely. What you're going to need next is a trolley jack. Get it under the bottom arm, get it under the ball joint if you can, like so, an angle from both sides. So get it under there, and what that'll do is that'll lift the whole steering knuckle up, so you can then get the steering knuckle and the shock absorber to meet. Remember that down here, this pin has got to go in to that hole just there. You can see that. Don't forget you've got the fork for the brake line on this side. You've got the plate for the drop link on that side. This is obviously for the passenger side, for the near side. And then this plate goes back on. As you can see, its edge there, that basically hugs over that. Like so. We'll put that on afterwards. Now we're going to jack this up, get this steering knuckle and this sleeve of the shock absorber to mate. Remember, this is all free now, so this can spin. So you need to line that up so the fork at the back lines with the hole. So yeah, let's get this together. What it'll do is it'll start pulling backwards. Pull it forwards, give it a little wiggle, and then keep jacking. And that is it. All you need is the bolt. Put the bolt in. And then we'll get that tightened up. And that's it. If you're struggling to get the steering knuckle and the sleeve together, if it's a bit tight, what I'd recommend, get yourself a hammer. Get yourself a long extension, get underneath like this and use the hammer and whack it up. A couple of whacks will do it, a bit of WD-40, but these KYBs, they're a really good fit for this car. They always have been a very good fit, but if it's a bit tight, just a hammer, get a hammer under it, knock it up. Same on this side, knock it up. Use the steering, so turn the wheel whichever way you want to go, and it'll get it away from the drive shaft. But yeah, that's the way to do it. Get an extension up there, start knocking it up, get it up there, knock it up bit by bit. Eventually it will go up and you shouldn't have any troubles. Job's a good one. Alright, that's it. Job's a good one. Rain's been horrible. Put it all back together. Take time with it. Make sure if you're going to do this, if you're going to do the springs, if you're just changing the springs, make sure you're safe. Don't be stupid, don't be dangerous, don't use cable ties. Get some spring compressors, they're not expensive. Do the job properly. and you'll be alright. Till the next time, guys, stay tuned, stay subscribed. I'll see you on the next one. Woohoo!